So yesterday I found myself on Amazon, shopping for things that I basically don't need, but finding a way to justify whatever it is I'm actually gonna buy. And I started noticing this habit that I basically have, but I never noticed it before. Whenever I found an item that I wanted to buy, but there was two of them, I always went with the most expensive one, thinking that basically, well, you get what you pay for, okay? That thought just kept coming back and back into my mind. But is that real, okay? Is that true? Do you actually get what you paid for all the time? And does it actually make sense to go ahead and buy the more expensive item? Now, you guys know me. I'm a weirdo. So whenever I have an idea or a habit, I like to go ahead and do research and myself and do experiments to find out, hey, is there a better way to do this? And if there is one, I'm 100% willing to change my entire life based on a new idea that makes logical, scientific sense. Meaning, I'm not gonna keep doing the same thing if it doesn't work and it doesn't make any sense for the sake of just doing what I've always been doing. That's stupid and I don't do that, okay? Now, one big thing is, guys, okay, the goal for this video is simple. It's to tell you about common things that at some point everyone watching this video, most likely like 80% of you guys, you're gonna buy this stuff, okay? But when it comes to buying those things, I don't want you to be fooled like I was fooled, okay? I don't want you to be fooled like I was fooled to buy the more expensive one because, again, you get what you paid for. And by the way, I'm not saying be cheap, be cheap, be cheap. I'm not saying that, okay? Some things, they're worth spending more money on and paying a premium. For example, I don't want you to go to Cuba to do plastic surgery because you got a 20% discount and then you end up looking like this, okay? That's not what I want for you. So some things, they're worth the premium, but most things, you can't really justify spending more money on it whatsoever, okay? So if you guys don't know me, my name is TommyBryson, so do me a favor, smash the like button on top of that. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notified. And if you do know me, welcome back to the channel, long-term team for the win. But let's get right into this video because I'm very excited about this, okay? And the first common thing that most people are gonna buy and are buying right now are clothes. So right off the bat, okay, what's the difference between a $10,000 Birkin bag that looks like a trash bag, I gotta be real here, and a $186 full leather bag also? What's the difference between a pair of Yeezy shoes that cost $300 or, for example, the classic New Balances that Steve Jobs made super popular, okay, for $55, okay? And on top of that, my favorite, what's the difference between a $3.90 t-shirt that is 100% cotton and the all-famous $550 white tee by Gucci, okay? What is the difference? And before you say, Tommy, there is no difference. These are all commodities. A t-shirt you wear it, shoes you wear it, purse you wear it, it's all the same thing. Don't be a liar. Me and you know exactly that that's not true. There is a difference, okay? Whether it's, for example, in the materials they use, they might be of higher quality. The manufacturing might be by hand. That's why it's more expensive. The labor, where it's made, all these things have an effect. Let's be real. However, let's also be real here. People are not buying these things for those reasons. They're paying higher prices for what these items symbolize. And it does make a difference if you see Tommy, your boy right here, with an Apple Watch, but if you saw me, for example, with a Rolex, it would be a whole different perspective. Probably like not you, because you already know, like, it doesn't matter. But for the average person out there, they see a Rolex and their eyes start turning and saying, well, that guy must be rich. That guy must have some money. That is what goes on here. People buy these things to have social badges. And what I've learned is that a social badge is something you wear to make you different from the peasants, from other people out there, okay? And that's the whole thing. And by the way, I consider myself one of those normal average people because what I wear, my outfit right now costs probably less than that $3.90 t-shirt, okay? Because this t-shirt cost me $1 in Goodwill. My pants were like $10. Well, you know, kind of expensive. And my slippers I got at Marshall's for like $6 or whatever, okay? So I don't subscribe to this whatsoever, but it's more of an ego thing than anything. Now, I gotta be real here. When I was a lot younger, 17, 18, 19, I wanted to buy all this stuff. And partially, I bought all this stuff. But then I read a quote, and that quote changed my life forever. And then this quote right here is actually by the man, the myth himself, Will Smith, before he slapped Chris, before he slapped Chris, okay? But Chris Rock. But the whole point is, too many people spend money they haven't earned. So they borrow the money, credit cards, everything, to buy all this stuff. So you don't even have the money, but you're buying all this stuff. To buy things they don't want, because do you really want to spend that money on something that basically is the same exact thing as that other thing? Like, let's be real, no. To impress people they don't like. And this quote right here, it changed my entire mindset. And ever since then, I have never paid that much money for any of these items ever again, because it makes absolutely no sense. Now, one big thing is this, guys, okay? I gotta be real here. There are a lot of rich people out there. The majority of them, they don't buy this stuff. But there are wealthy, rich people out there that do buy these things. And it's not just to show off, but it's because they like it. And that's fine, okay? So you gotta ask yourself, if you wanna be one of those rich folks that buys the Gucci, that buys the Birkin, that buys the expensive stuff, that's fine. But first, be rich, and then you buy whatever comes next, okay? But don't try to look the part while not being the part, because you'll never be the part because you spend all your money on things that absolutely don't add any value to your net worth. So that's my advice right there. It's okay to buy it, but buy it when you can afford it, okay? I never had an Apple Watch until I could afford one, okay? Made no sense. So that's my idea right there. Now, let's move on to my favorite topic of all time. My favorite topic that I know nothing about, and that is cars, vehicles, okay? And ever since I was young, I wanted to buy a car, a fancy one. I'll tell you more later on in this video, okay? But overall, what's the difference, okay? Let's go back to this little game of ours. What is the difference between a Lexus that starts at $77,000 and a Toyota Avalon that starts at $37,000? What's the difference between a Nissan that goes for $25,000 and an Infiniti that goes for around $42,000, okay? Also, Honda Civic, the classic, okay, that goes for $22,000, and an Acura that goes for $27,000. So obviously, a lot more money. And lastly, this one right here, surprising, okay? What's the difference between a Chevy Malibu that goes for $24,400 and a Chevrolet Corvette, okay? What is the difference, okay? Now, most of you probably don't know this, and I did not know this. But all these comparisons I just made, well, all of these products are made by the exact same company. Meaning, Lexus is made by Toyota. Nissan makes Infiniti. Honda makes, which car is it? The Acura. And lastly, the Chevy people, they make the Corvettes. And all of these companies, all of them have like the classic brands, like the economy brand for the normal people out there. They also have the luxury brands for the people that want to pay extra money. And again, it's not about safety. It's not about performance. It's not about any of those factors. It's about, again, social badges. Now, it starts like this, okay? I was 17 years old. I took the bus every single day to get to college for 2 hours. And I had my eye on this car. It was a Mercedes. And I started saving up money to buy this vehicle that I thought was going to be so cool. It was red, it was pretty, it was sexy. And then I started doing research. And again, whatever my idea is, I don't care how long I had it for. If I learn new information that makes more sense, I'm going to change my mind right away, okay? So when I learned that Mercedes are unreliable, more expensive to basically fixed, and on top of that, when parts go bad, you might not find them, okay? I said, why am I spending so much money on an unreliable car that makes absolutely no sense? And on top of that, I also learned about depreciation. You buy a brand new car, the first year goes down by 10%, then by the year 5, you lose half your money. And I was like, I'm gonna save all this money that I've been working minimum wage for to buy this vehicle, and I'm gonna turn all that money into half in less than 5 years. All my hours are cut in half. That's crazy. So I changed my entire mind. And again, I was 17 years old. Today, I'm 25 years old, net worth a little bit above $500,000. I drive a 2014 used Toyota Prius because it's reliable, has great mileage, performs well, has good technology, and it does everything I like. And it keeps me very low key. And I like being low key. Now, what this means is, again, most people that are wealthy, they're gonna buy things based on its use. They're not gonna buy things based on perspective and other people that buy on is used, okay? So it means, hey, I'm gonna buy this car that's reliable, I can trust, it comes from a good manufacturer, and I know for a fact there's a lot of reviews out there saying like, hey, it actually is reliable. But most importantly, most rich people out there, they do this, okay? They pay cash for a car. On top of that, they buy a car that's used 3 to 5 years, and they buy a car within their budget. That's the key right there. And if you do that correctly, you don't have to worry about crazy depreciation, owing somebody a bunch of money, and having this crazy liability in your garage. Makes absolutely no sense. So that's what I learned when it comes to cars. And that to me was surprising because I always said like, wow, a Lexus is so beautiful. A bland vanilla company like Toyota could never make it. Toyota makes it. Nissan makes Infiniti. And Acura is made by Honda. And Chevy makes the Corvette. Like, come on, like it's the same exact things. It's just a different body, different parts and so on. But you can't justify the over $15,000 price difference to buy those things whatsoever. So that's my advice. And again, it's okay if you want to drive a Mercedes. It's okay if you want to drive a Corvette, a Porsche, a Lexus. All these things are amazing. Make sure when you buy them, you are already rich. You can already afford them. Because in the meantime, it doesn't make a difference because you get different looks, but you're still broke. That's a real thing. And that hurt my feelings when I first heard it, but I gotta say. So that's why I'm telling you. Now, the third thing is massive. It's a house. It's very expensive, okay? And one thing I learned is that if you hang around losers, you'll be a loser. If you hang around overspenders, you'll be an overspender. If you live around very bougie people, eventually you'll start being bougie too. All right, I learned all of these things. Now, I also learned something else. Before I was going to buy my first home and I was looking into properties, I wanted to buy in the best area, around people that made a lot of money. I wanted to be in a great neighborhood with the best school, best. Everything was just best. And also, the price was actually massive, very expensive. But I learned that the average millionaire, that's what I want to be, the average millionaire, they don't buy a home that's over $300,000. And usually it's going to be in the 200Ks, maybe like 220, 230. And before you say you can't find out where you live, guess what, bro? You can always move. You can always go somewhere else. You can always just rent until you can afford to put on a bigger down payment that justifies what you're actually going to buy. There are options out there. Just because what's on the market doesn't fit your budget doesn't mean you go ahead and buy it anyways. It means you don't buy because it's obvious you won't be able to afford it. A lot of people, I know someone, I won't mention them, but they're my family. There you go, sub. The answer is they buy a luxurious, I won't give so many details here, but they buy a luxurious property that costs them a ton of money. And if they were to stop working today, they would not be able to afford it. It's kind of like when you go to that house, it's so beautiful. It's so nice. But at what price? You know what I mean? At what price do you want to own a fancy home to impress people that, again, I don't care how big your house is. I care about spending time with you. But you have this big house. If you can afford it, it's great. But if you can't afford it, what's the point of having it? You know, it makes no sense. The goal with buying a home is to own it. It's not to owe it for the next 30 years. Just to say it's fancy though. And you have to get a remodel the kitchen eventually, remodel the floors eventually. It never stops, it never ends. And for me today, I was 24 years old when I bought my first house. I'm not saying this to show off, but I'm saying it because it's the truth. I was 24 years old when I bought my first house. And in the area where I live, I paid $130,000. But there were options for me to buy a home that was $200,000, that was $300,000, that was $400,000. And I looked at those homes and I had to go back to say, hey, remember, Tommy, The average millionaire doesn't do this. This stuff right here is just marketing. You don't have to do this. Doesn't make any sense. And I stopped myself and I bought a home I can afford. I remodeled it. I made it pretty. Now it's at around $170,000, like $180 potentially. But the answer is, it's my home. I paid it off. It's fully mine. I don't owe any money. Now, is it a mansion? The answer is no. But if I bought that same home in New York, it would probably be like $800,000. So guess what I did? I saved money. I moved. I went somewhere else, and I'm a lot happier here. So don't be afraid of making changes either. Now, the last thing here is going to be groceries. And before you think this is not massive, it's massive. Because when I moved out on my own and I was doing like all the grocery shopping, I noticed I was spending a ton of money on brands. Everything was organic and brand made. Organic and brand. Now, obviously, I care about my health. But when it comes to cereal, do I have to buy an $8 box of cereal? Do I have to pay a 20% premium to buy this at this organic store when I can buy it at Walmart that's also organic for a massive discount? The answer is no, I don't have to do that. And I learned a very valuable lesson there. So before I buy anything, I compare prices. And whenever I'm going to buy something, I buy the cheapest option that's also organic because I don't like steroids in my food, okay? But that's the overall idea. And what I learned, the big lesson here, is that most people, they buy based on marketing, perspective, ego, and social badges. But the real people out there that are millionaires and actually are very savvy and frugal, they buy on use and mechanics and is this reliable and is this the best option. They buy based on those factors. Now that means that if you have a $100 suit, $200 suit, $1,000 suit, doesn't mean they're always going to buy the cheaper option. They're going to buy the quality one, but the quality one that's in the price range that actually makes sense. Not the one you're buying because it has a fancy name attached to it. That is the big difference, okay? And that's what I learned. So I hope this video helped you. And by the way, if you made it all the way to this part of the video, which is, by the way, the end, I want you to comment down below, I made it, okay? That way I know you made it, obviously. But I also want to show you something for making it all the way to the end of this video. And I want to show you the inspiration behind this video. Because I was on Amazon, again, buying things that I don't need, but trying to justify it. And I was looking at this. And I got scared. I was looking at a $329 toothbrush. Did I search it up? The answer is no, I didn't search this stuff up, obviously. But Amazon showed it to me. And I looked at it, and I was like, wow, you know, maybe I could buy this. Maybe it does make sense. And I started reading all the reviews. A lot of people bought it too. And I started looking at all the pictures. Oh my gosh, 7 times healthier. Oh, it's so cool. An app. Oh my gosh, it charges. And I was like, maybe it makes sense. And then I remembered that I also bought this for like $4.49. And I said, what the fudge am I thinking? And why was I about to think that you get what you paid for in this life, okay? It makes absolutely no sense. Guys, thanks for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. And thank you for all the support over all the years. I think it's been like 3-4 years now. Like this video. On top of that, also subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified. Comment down below any questions. And on top of that, or any ideas or any thoughts, just comment down below something for the algorithm. On top of that, also, here's another video. Here's my face. Click subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Long-term team officially out.